Well, it premiered in London last night. Martin Freeman is here right now. What a great film. I cried buckets. It was so lovely.
Thank you, yeah.
It really was. It's a perfect movie for Christmas.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. It's a kind of uncynical, unashamedly sort of family film.
But it's not mawkish in any way. There's never any of those kind of cringy moments. You know,
I don't think so. I think it stays the right side of that. As much as a family film can with singing and dancing children, as much as it can stay the right side of mawkish, it does.
But these are real kids. That's what made it so good. That they're not they're not sort of stage kids. But I love the fact that they've got them audition and they're so sweet.
Yeah, and they were real. You know, this is like where the sort of reality and fiction thing gets blurred because we just said, come along and do something that you enjoy doing, and they did, and like he enjoyed going red. You know.
Yes, that was quite disturbing. I thought he was going to explode. And this wee cutie pie.
This is little Ben who plays Bob. Yeah, he likes to do his dancing, and he does it a lot. Ben, you know, he's quite a serious little dancer. He does competitions and stuff.
Does he?
Yeah.
He was adorable. They all were. They were all fantastic. And they say don't work with children and animals. And you had so many children, and you had camels and donkeys and sheep and all kinds of things in there, and hens and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the kids, I have to say, without being mawkish, were delightful. You know, I mean, they were kids who were giving up their own summer holiday to want to be there. So we didn't have anyone under duress. They were volunteering their time, and they were great. You know, I mean, for me, it's sort of like it doesn't sort of matter really about the degrees of talent or whether they're going to go into show, but I just think, you know, what a great thing to have had a good time over a summer holiday.
Absolutely.
To have made a film when you were 9 or whatever, you know.
But what was interesting, what you said was that those kids were doing things that they wanted to do. They went, and the whole thing was very much improvised, wasn't it? I mean,
yes, it was, yeah.
What a brilliant thing for an actor to be more or less told. I mean, you're sort of roughly say that.
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to achieve in this scene.
Exactly,
and then you have to work twice as hard, but it must be
so good. Yeah, no, you do. I mean, the lazy part of you goes, great, I don't have lines to learn for tomorrow. But then the reality kicks in that, well, no, we've got to sort of make up a film, you know. I mean, the story is all that, you know, Debbie Isaac, who directed it, I did a film with her a couple of years ago called Confetti. And she likes to work with actors in that improvisatory way, which is good of her, I think, because she can write, you know, she can write dialogue, but I think she's trusting enough of actors to sort of see what we come up with in the moment as the camera turns. And while some of it won't work, definitely some of it doesn't work, but you don't see that in the film. You see the stuff that works, and it's really exhilarating and scary, you know.
And Ashley Jensen is, of course, his ex-girlfriend. We don't want to give away too much, obviously, about what happens, because it's not fair. Suffice to say, he tells a great big whopper, and everybody thinks that Hollywood's coming to town.
I do. I say to my old drama school friend, Gordon Shakespeare, because we're having this game of one-upmanship, and he teaches at the posh school down the road, and I think, well, no, actually, no, listen to this. And I just make up a line and say, well, people from Hollywood are going to come to see ours. It's a ridiculous line. And then I don't assume anyone's going to believe it, but my classroom assistant, Mr. Poppy, played by Mark Wootton, he isn't quite as other men.
No,
and so he's slightly lacking in certain departments, and he thinks it's true. He goes and tells the whole school, and eventually the whole city thinks Hollywood are coming. I try and contain the lie. I can't contain it, so I've got to go with it. And
I think he starts off as a really, really cynical guy and actually not a very good teacher. And that's why I find the emotion coming out when he sort of realises that actually these kids are fantastic.
He has to have that really pointed out to him, because at the top of the film, you know, he doesn't really have any faith in himself, and he doesn't have any faith in the kids he's teaching, and he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder about his friend who works at the posh school, who always does fantastic stuff, and they're all really biddable children, and they're all perfectly behaved, and mine are just normal children who aren't perfectly behaved. And so I have a very pessimistic view of the whole world, really, until Mr. Poppy comes in and kind of brings out of the children something that I wasn't able to.
It was really lovely, and like I say, it's so refreshing to see something like that isn't that you can't, you know, you just can't spot the way they're trying to manipulate your emotions. You genuinely just go with it.
Yes, I hope so. Yeah.
Belly laughs and tears.
Well, I really think. Well, I'm glad you felt that, because I think that if ever you can get those two things in a film, you're doing all right, Absolutely. So I hope more people agree with you.
Definitely. Well, it opens tomorrow, and I really would advise you to go and see it. Even if you are the most cynical person in the world, you will go out feeling Christmassy. There was a girl behind me who was watching it, and she said, "I'm going away for a mince pie."
Right, yeah. No, I think like you say,
really
it's not clawing, and it's not, you know, cloying rather. It's just It's an honest kind of emotion. It's unashamedly emotional family film, and you know, I'm up for that.
No, it's great. What are you doing at Christmas? Are you doing the big traditional thing?
Family, yeah, always quite traditional. Yeah.
Good.
Always stay somewhere cold. You know, I don't cop out.
No,
I don't cop out and go somewhere hot.
No, that is a
Christmas has got to be cold.
Of course, you have to be freezing.
Yeah,
and go for a walk and have a red nose and all of that.
Exactly,
like Rudolph. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Thank you for coming in, and good luck with it.
Cheers.
It's a really lovely movie. Thank you.
you.
Right after the break.